Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to the Dorky Supernova. We're of course playing some Oxygen Not Included again tonight. It's Thursday nights. We're back here with the colony we've been working on in the ranching upgrade Mark II. So far things are going fairly well. I mean, we've had a few issues over the course of the last couple streams, but most of them we've solved for. And I think today I want to try to work on doing some more taming of the Dreckos. We have a couple of them kicking around here. I think we only have one that's actually inside the confines of the colony we were making, although we did have one, a second one at some point that was like stuck in a wall, and I don't know if he just sort of crawled the rest of the way in the wall or if he wandered off somewhere else, but I don't see him here anymore. So, you know, maybe he bit the bullet. I think the critters all have an actual defined lifespan now, and he might have gone past that. But nevertheless, I started at the end of the last stream to convert this one little room here that we have the mealwood into a place where we can put the Dreckos, but I'm starting to think that maybe this isn't really going to be ideal in terms of the amount of space, because if we get a couple Dreckos in here, they'll probably start to feel really crowded really quickly, and I also don't, you know, I don't really want this in the way of trying to get through to our Paku, which we have swimming like crazy down here, and pretty healthy population of those swimming around. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll work on getting some more, a better habitat for the Dreckos. I'm thinking maybe down here, the temperature's in a nice place, so we can grow the mealwood down below, and it won't cause any issues there. But if we look at our oxygen overlay, we're in good shape oxygen-wise. Last stream, we did get this little oxygen room set up, and it's been working well. It's keeping the colony heavily oxygenated. At the end of the last stream, I also started to set up a hydroponic farm up top here so we can start to grow some pinch of pepper plants, and that will let us start to make some barbecue with the abundance of hatches that we have. I noticed as I was setting up the stream tonight, too, we finally have our very first sage hatchling egg here as well. It's at an incubation of 31%. So, I mean, at some point, though, they should pick this up and put it in storage, because I think I have this thing set up for storage. Over here, we should just double check and make sure we have it set up for... Nope, sage hatchling egg. Okay, we got that marked off. So now they should pick it up and put it in there. And that will give us a sage hatchling. Now, the reason why I wanted to get these is because they have a better conversion rate of between the stuff they eat into coal, so it'll give us a better supply for our fancy coal power system. But overall, you know, things have been going really well. I mean, our power is really well balanced. We have a heavy... It's connected to a smart battery, so it's largely only running... Oop, you know what? Only one of them is only connected. Hold on a second. We should probably fix that. And we'll do a second one here so that that one's connected as well. That way we don't waste our coal, because we are actually burning some excess coal here we don't need to. But it should be a fun night. Hopefully we can get the colony expanded a little bit more. There's a few things I'd like to tackle tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to, but it would be nice also to try and get something set up for exosuits so we can start to explore a little bit lower down. And then I'd also kind of like to play with this volcano a little bit if we can manage to get to that. I don't know if we'll get there on this stream. We might. Because we also have to deal with water. This is the water supply that we have feeding our oxygen production, and as you can see, it's kind of on the low side. The tank used to be all the way up to where these ladders are up here. It's a little lower now. We pumped a lot of it up here, but we are going to need to try and clean up some water from that, even if it's just a matter of taking some polluted water and running through a sieve so that we have some clean water over there. But welcome everyone who's here in the chat so far. A bunch of you were chatting with me before the stream started, so welcome to all of you who are regulars that are here so consistently. And thank you to Stoic the Vast, who actually gave a $1 super chat before the stream even started. I appreciate the support. Lots of neat things we can do today. I also, you know, when we were playing around with the jobs last time, if I can find my little job bar. There we go. There, jobs. We did put someone in the mechatronics engineer position. So we have the ability to do some automation stuff as well, assuming we have the right materials for it. Now, in here, if we look in our shipping area, we've got the auto sweeper, and this thing is pretty awesome. I really like this, and did not leave enough space in here to have a couple. Let's see if we can do one there. Not quite enough to cover the whole room, but we can get pretty close. But what I'm thinking is I'd like to set up a system here that picks up the coal automatically when these guys poop it out, and then sends it down here through the shipping system so that we can store it over here where we're actually going to be consuming it. Later on, I'd like to actually set up another auto sweeper down here to pick up the meat when these guys die off, and then have that sent by same shipping rail. We'll send it all the way over to like our kitchen area where we can cook barbecue and stuff with it. So lots of cool things we can do with that. I even played around at one point with trying to purify water by freezing it. It was just experimenting in debug mode, and I used the auto sweeper for that too, which was kind of neat, and it worked really well, oddly enough. The tricky part is just keeping the temperatures low enough for it to actually work effectively. But it'll be good. House Flipper in that game, then he's always in the storm. Yeah, aren't I though? Always. Just figured out when he streams, so he just started watching them. Oh, welcome, Christopher. Yeah, I generally stream at 10 p.m. Eastern time. By the time I get all my work and family stuff taken care of, it ends up being pretty late, relatively speaking. We still have, these guys are still overcrowded and they're glum, so they're not doing a whole lot of egg laying. So we're gonna kill off a few more of these. I really should take some time to, whoops, no, I don't want to do that. Come on. Attack. There we go. I should take some time and set up a system in here somewhere where we can... Why is it giving me the option to cancel attack? I didn't have attack selected on that one. We should set up a system where we can actually execute our hatches, as evil as that sounds, in order to get barbecue more easily. Now, I built the ranch up here initially, and I'm kind of thinking that, in terms of space-wise, down here might make a whole lot more sense. We have lots of room in this area that we could expand out without dealing with germs and things, and we could actually put in a system down here where we have the hatches on one level and an evil little execution floor like one below with a rail system that picks up the meat and sends it off. So we might end up relocating this ranch. It's okay where it is for now, and we're getting all kinds of meat on the floor. I'm gonna need another fridge down here too. We're stocking up so much food right now. We're maxing out our fridge capacity. And I need to watch that power grid. How much? Whoops. Where is this? How much we got on here? 1,200 watts is the max circuit status, which is kind of crazy. Now, granted, I have this oxygen production turned off. This pump's not even connected. I was going to do some refrigeration in here, but actually, just by placing a couple of Weezeworts, we actually managed to level the temperature a little bit up here, although it's still warm down here because we're pumping in oxygen at like 32 degrees, which is kind of on the warm side. As this gets warmer down here, we'll run into an issue with growing plants too. So, okay, so a couple things we're gonna have to tackle today, I guess. We're gonna need to make sure we start to handle that temperature variance a little bit as well, which means I need some more Weezeworts, because what I'd like to do is take the oxygen that we're pumping out of our little oxygen room, send it into a little chamber that we can build maybe over here somewhere that has a couple of Weezeworts in it, and have the pipe kind of snake through there a little bit so it cools the temperature of the gas in the pipe before it comes out and goes out into the main part of the colony. We're pretty highly pressurized, so this isn't exactly moving consistently anyway, but it would still help with overall temperature management. What game is this? This is Oxygen Not Included. So basically, if you haven't seen it before, we start off with three of these little Duplicant guys inside of some unknown asteroid or planet. We have to sort of hollow out a space for them to live in, and do a bunch of research to like learn how to build new things, and it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. I put a lot of time into it, actually. All right, this is going to be our Dracco farm. So we'll just put this over here. I might as well just seal it right off this way. We'll dig all this out. We're going to have some issue with sand here, but that's okay. And I just realized I didn't mean to put regular flooring in here. We actually want to use some farm tile. This way we can grow some food for our Dreckos in the form of meal ice. On this end of things, we'll have like our... Oh, they already built up here. I didn't get them to stop it fast enough. Too busy talking. But what I should have done was build a shearing station, grooming station, and stuff down over here so that it wouldn't be... so it would be where I actually need it. I'm just going to deconstruct this stuff for now. Even though I know we just built it. I changed my mind between the end of last stream and this one, so... I just have to deal with it. Look at all that Trapto 2 in the pipe. Shameful. Shameful? What's shameful about it? Look at all this oxygen we have. Whoops. Look at all the electricity we have. Lots of oxygen. And we've got a bunch of CO2 up here, too, that, for whatever reason, isn't filtering downward. It's kind of trickling down slowly, but I think the oxygen pressure here is sort of creating a little buffer that stops some of the CO2 from falling. Not really a big deal, though. The important thing is that between our last stream and this one, of course, we took care of the big germ problem we have, so we don't have a slime lung issue inside our colony anymore, either. So far, so good. Free the oxygen prisoners. Revolution! Revolution! Remember when you build, they don't make your dupes fall and get stuck again. Yeah, well, I don't have to worry quite as much about them getting stuck, because right here they would fall down and they have a ladder to get out. Ooh, actually, this doesn't go down far enough. Let me just extend the ladder one more tile, just to make sure that we don't get stuck down there. And we'll set that one priority 7, and then we'll do the rest of this building priority 6, so they'll tackle this stuff, hopefully, relatively soon. There we go. Good times. PUBG is better than Fortnite. Well, the funny thing is we're not playing either game right now. Randomly saw me you were live, so thought I'd come see how you were getting on. Welcome, Life Grow. So far, so good. We just started the stream tonight, so we haven't really tackled a whole lot just yet, but we are in a place where... Oh, look, he's actually got to run down here to breathe. The funny thing is, I uncovered this... where is it here? Right here. There's a spiral of oxalate right here. So I uncovered it, and we've gotten oxygen supply down into this area down below now. Seems to be... There's a little bit of CO2 trap there now, which seems to be stopping some of it from coming out, but... It sort of oxygenated this whole lower area when it wasn't... wouldn't have been oxygenated otherwise, which is kind of handy. Hey, Eliastar. I am Groot. Welcome. Hi, Scott. Welcome to the stream. Excited for another stream. Me too. Me too. And I got, you know what the funny thing is, I got access to another new colony game today too. I can't actually post any videos on it until the 16th, unfortunately, because the copy that I got is under embargo until the 16th. But I got a copy of Machiavellian today, which I was really looking forward to playing and hoping I could get a copy of, and I did. So super excited to play that too, which again, it's kind of another colony building thing, but it's with like old time movie monsters, and you have to build a mansion to trap people in and use them for your food. It's kind of a little grotesque maybe in some ways, but it's very cartoony and funny. So looking forward to playing that. Let's copy this out. We'll make this all meal lice. I want to trap some gases in here. So my intention is to have some hydrogen along the top of here, which means I'm going to have to take this airflow tile that I originally put in here and convert it to regular tile. Otherwise our hydrogen will leak out on us. We don't want that. And then we'll need all of our fancy like grooming stations and stuff too. So we'll get critter drop off can be here. We need the... I guess it's in stations. Yeah, they must both be in here. Here's the shearing station, so we'll get that. So we can shear our Dracko. And then our grooming station, so it actually makes this into the fancy ranch thing we need. We use a mechanized door here because we're actually going to have some hydrogen inside this space. And we don't really want that all over the colony. I'm hoping we just kind of keep a little layer of hydrogen along the top here so the Drackos can move up into it. Because it makes them happy. And then we don't have to fill the whole room with hydrogen. It'll just be that little top section. This is Skylinks. Changed my YouTube name just to get you to name a dupe spookus. So please do this for me. We're not bringing any other duplicants in right now. We actually don't really have the capacity for it. Why is that atmosphere? We've got like a little bit of like chlorine drifting around down here. That's just not ideal. So up at the very top of here, this room here, we ended up releasing some chlorine into it. I guess just in the course of this door opening and closing. I lost the CO2 seal that I had in here. And the chlorine ended up coming out. So this room here is all full of chlorine. It's kind of less than ideal. Because every time this door opens now, there's a risk that the chlorine is going to come down and filter into the larger portion of the base. And as you can see, it gets in the way of things like plants, where it'll drift along like right at the surface level. And as long as there's that little cell of chlorine over top of the plant, it stifles, kind of messes with your growth pattern a bit. It's not the worst thing in the world, because it's not enough to stop it permanently, but it's sort of a nuisance. Kind of drifting along. No, you're not a Pokeball. A wild Durgan appears. I'm actually impressed that... Oh, actually, we do have a second thing running. I thought for some reason we had shut down to just having one... Or, sorry, none of these electrolyzers running. I'm going to... Or algae deoxidizer, rather. I'm going to turn this off and see how consistent the oxygen supply is coming out of our oxygen room and how much of this it can actually support. It's at max pressure right now, so it's not moving the air consistently. So without this other deoxidizer running, I'm curious to see how long it'll take before the oxygen level drops. We have 8 duplicants breathing the air, so there'll be a certain amount lost there, but we'll see. Somebody mastered a job. Spiffy mastered the seasoned rancher job. Nice. Exosuit engineer. We're gonna need one of those. So let's move Elf Wolf King up here to be an exosuit engineer because I want some exosuits. And then I guess we can move Durgan up to a courier position. Improve things over there. Andrew, we already have maxed out. We don't have any architects right now. I'll have to see if we need those ultimately. Groundskeepers. And then we don't have anyone that doesn't have a job currently. Everybody's employed. How about that? 100% employment rate. You'll never see that in North America. coming a lot because I like your streams a lot. Well, thanks, Christopher. I'm glad you enjoy them. How's the germs murdering everyone? The germs are gone. We got them all cleaned up. Once we got rid of the slime, it stopped producing more of the germs, and then over time, they just sort of died off. And as you can see, there might be a couple spots here where there's a little bit of germs floating around, but nothing really to be of any kind of concern. Everybody's in good shape. And it helps it up here, too. We had a whole bunch of germs in this room, and when we let the chlorine leak in there, it did a pretty good job of killing all those off, which is nice. Are my animals eating? Yeah, they don't eat nearly as often as they used to. So if you click on a hatch now, we take a look at their calorie consumption. Where are they here? So calories, 6,686 calories. And they're changing at 140 kilocalories per cycle. So, or that's for the, and then hatchling is 700 kilocalories per cycle. Or minus 700. So, they're only eating like 140 kilocalories a cycle. So, they don't eat nearly as much as they used to. It used to be they would gobble up everything in sight and they'd poop out all kinds of coal. And you had a pretty good supply. Now it's much, much slower. Spiffy Pictures, $19.99. Okay, as promised, here's my money. Okay, write this down. I require a good room for me and at Nelly Need and dupe insurance for me at Polani, at Nelly Knee, and at Durgan 8D. Thank you so much for the super chat, Spiffy. Oh my gosh, that means we need another luxury suite somewhere. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm planning to move the ranch because we're kind of running out of space for these things. We've got 2 of them here. If I could put another one up top here, we can make use of this sieve and double up on its usage. Probably, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll have to see how much is flowing through there. I mean, it's not running consistently, so we probably could make use of this with a double bathroom, one above and one below. Just have this sort of sandwiched in the middle. But we'll need to move this ranch before we can do that, I think. Okay, so down here we have some mealwood growing. Let's set this up for our bagged Dreckos, so we can keep them in line. We're going to need power here to run this fancy shearing machine. Which means we'll have to tap into this grid that's already a little bit strained, I think. Oh, nope, that's a separate grid. Okay, good. This one's actually not bad. We'll tap into this one. Oh, man. See, I like these automated doors because you don't have to have them powered in order to make use of the power, or like the faster opening. The trouble is, sometimes, like, I've got them like a situation like right here. I can't run the plug through there without powering the door, and I really don't want to because there's not really a whole lot of benefit to doing it. What am I going to do about getting new water? Well, we have a couple things. So there's still a fair amount here. It'll take a while for this to drain down. Actually, it's going down fairly quickly, but it'll take a little while for that to go. We still have water here. We have a geyser up here that's producing some water. Not a huge quantity of it, and it's very hot. However, there is water available here. And then outside of that, we can take like some of the water that we have out here for polluted water, and we can pump that in. Ultimately, what I'd like to do too is with this polluted water that's all germy and stuff, is to send it down to where we have this copper volcano. I'm going to expose it and let the liquid copper pool in an area, and then we'll dump the water on top of it to flash heat it into steam, and then condense the steam so that we can take that water and use it also. So it's going to be, that's going to take a little while. This whole setup down here, I've got to clear a whole bunch of stuff out and get it all ready to go before we're ready to. So probably in the interim, I'll end up pumping some polluted water and cleaning it with a sieve and just dumping it in here. We even have a sieve sitting right here that's not really even being used right now because my carbon skimmer is only being used periodically in order to let we want the CO2 to keep a certain amount of pressure down here so the plants grow and stuff. Okay, so, oh, we didn't build the tiles in there. They dug it out. Why didn't they build the tiles? That's weird. I must have canceled it somehow. Nevertheless, that's built. Our shearing station is powered. Let's bag some Dreckos. Oh, we have at least one up here we can bag. So we'll wrangle this one. Do we really only have one? We had at least 2 of them wandering around the base at one point. I don't see any actually in the base proper. So that one's out of commission. We could cut into this chlorine and take another one, but I don't really have an airlock set up here in order to keep the gases out. Maybe I should do that first. Just in case I make a mess of things. I would prefer not to make too big of a mess of things. And we'll need to dig out just a little bit here. I see like a tiny little bit of hydrogen there too, which could be handy. So I'll use this for a little CO2 airlock. Whoops, this is not set up right. That's what I want. Hopefully we get a little CO2 trapped in here, and that will solve for that. There's some copper there I should take. So we'll get this Dracko also. We have another Dracko over here we can grab. Now this one's in with a bunch of polluted oxygen, which isn't great. But it's also by a bunch of bleach stone, so not really the end of the world. Wonder if Fox thinks he'll actually get to the copper thing before the next update. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. It's like weeks before the next update, like another four or 5 weeks, something like that. Oh, right, we didn't set. Let's copy the settings here. Make sure we have a place to put all the fancy food we're cooking up, because we're cooking up a storm right now. 271,000 kilocalories. It's actually pretty ridiculous. I feel like our duplicates should like gradually get fatter because they just have this near infinite food supply. Wish they'd get around to killing some of these hatches too. That's not really happening very quickly. Maybe I should bag a few of them and stick them down below, since I'm planning to move my hatchery down here anyway. We'll wait. I'm not entirely ready for it. And then we still have this this guy's over here we haven't dug into either. So much to do, so little time. Polluted oxygen. You know what? I was planning to pump. Let's go chlorine in here. I was actually planning to pump some hydrogen from way up top to get over to here. Or sorry, to supply our Dreckos. But I think what I might do instead is just try to put a little pump in here. And we'll send this gas into where we have our little Dracco room. Ooh, there's chlorine in here. Chlorine and CO2. Oh yeah, this is a wonderful place right now. It's dream paradise for things. Catch you in the live stream. Welcome, Grim. One day when I'm rich and lazy, $1,000 super chat. I'll probably fall right off my chair. I think I missed a question. Sorry, I was looking at a whole bunch of stuff. Wow, this game looks interesting. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it before. That's interesting. Does the body temp of the dupes matter too much, or is it just the air around them that's harmful? I mean, it's mostly about the air temperature around them. I mean, their body temperature will rise with it. So if you look at like if you look at the temperature overlay, you can see that they're pretty warm. They're running around. They hot most of the time. Even when they're in the temperate areas, they're hot. It's really more about the room that they're in, more so than their own personal body temperature. New dupe time soon. We have a ton of food. I'm curious to see how the oxygen holds out with only one system producing oxygen right now. So I want to keep an eye on that. We'll see how that balances out. If we're still sitting solid after a little while, like I haven't had either one of these running for a little bit now. If it stays at a solid level of oxygen, then we might be able to bring in more. All right, let's set this for 7. When we tell them to bag Dreckos, we kind of want them to bring them over quickly. Ideally, I haven't tried the shearing station yet. This will be interesting because the ones we can shear now will give us reed fiber, which is used in making the fancy spacesuits. Dirt. So much dirt. Oh, there you go. We're building our little airlock down here. Oops, that's not what I want. Tiny little bit of CO2 in there, but it's going to take a little bit to trap some that we need in here. Time. Okay, so where can we expand to in order to make rooms a little bit more, a little sooner than waiting until later? Now, if I go up here, this whole level is really hot because I have all these machines up here. I don't really want that. It's also really hot up here. So we'll have to do a whole bunch of work to try to cool the space up here if we actually build this as the new living quarters. I can't go down too low because it's all CO2 down here, so that rules that out. I feel like we're going to have to expand out here. It's like 31 degrees, so it's a little on the warm side, and it's also really germy. But in the right situation, we might be able to clean this out without getting people too sick. Maybe. That could be our new living quarter area. I definitely don't want them going through the main part of the colony, though. Let's set up a wash station down here. We'll go to stations. No, it's in medicine, rather. What am I thinking? Medicine. We'll do a wash basin like right here. So that people will hopefully wash up as they come out of there. Only playing sandbox mode can offer you so many solutions, but they're all cheating. Well, there is that, Polani. Get the exosuits first? Yeah, we could do that also. Could do that also. The tricky part with the exosuits, we'll have to feed oxygen into it, which means we need to pump some down. So either I need to run the piping for this way down and cut my oxygen flow into the colony in half, which I'm not thrilled about. Or potentially we could set up a small room with one algae deoxidizer in it so it hits max pressure really easily. And then use that as an individual little pump room for exosuits. And I think that's probably the option that I'll go with. Because it'll just be the easiest to control, I think. You know what? Let's cancel this right here. We'll do our exosuit station like right here. I think this makes probably a good location for it. Do a little bit of flooring in here so it's all nicey nice. Get rid of the excess ladders. Man, who built all these ladders? Good lord. Nobody needs that many ladders. Alright, in stations, we should have our exosuit dock. So we'll need an exosuit checkpoint. As soon as I set up this checkpoint, though, they won't go out any farther unless there is actually an exosuit here. So I need to be careful of this. And I gotta remember which way the arrow works on this also. So I think it's, in order to have the exosuit, they have to what the? Hey, buddy. What are you doing down there? Let's wrangle you, please. How did that guy get over there? I thought I brought one into this room. No, he still hasn't been wrangled. Wrangle. There we go. Where did that one come from? I swear that, oh, I dug in over, no, yeah, okay, I dug in over here and he climbed out. I didn't even get all the way in there. And he got out already. Love watching you, Cryptic. Wait, that's not what I meant. Ooh, Hayden, awkward. Awkward. Comfy beds, comfy beds. Well, we have to wait until we get some plastics before we can do that. Go through the bathroom to the swamp. I mean, we could do that, but again, I don't really want to let all the germiness in here because this is some pretty heavy germ area in here. Dun dun dun. I'm thinking what I might do is try to dig a bunch of this out, pump in some chlorine to let it kill all the germs, then pump the chlorine out and replace it with oxygen. It's gonna be kind of a lot of work, I think. These guys are getting busy and working. I need another rancher. Let's check our jobs. Who do we have on the farming job? Well, we have Nelly Nia, who's actually farming. And we kind of need her to keep farming because she's... Well, or do we? We have such a crazy amount of food right now. Let's maybe put Nelly Nia on the farm. Or on the ranch, rather. We'll get someone else with some ranching, like some wrangling ability. So I don't have to sit around and wait. We won't be using the farm station because we won't have a farm anymore, but that's okay because we have 319,000 kilocalories and only 8 duplicants. I think we're in good shape that way. You have 2 critter releases for Dreckos. Do I? I destroyed the one that was here. Oh, you're right. Up here we have this critter drop off. Let's deconstruct this one. In the meantime, we'll deselect it. Thank you for pointing that out. You're right, we did have that. This can also be deconstructed. We don't need that. Ah, look, we have Drakko in here. Go, little buddy. Okay, hold on. How do we shear them now? This is something I haven't tried yet. Shears Dreckos. Or does it do it automatically? Do I have to tame them first? That might be a thing. He's still wildness 100%. So I might have to tame him before I can shear them, I guess. There doesn't seem to be any option to use it otherwise. Man, we got a little polluted oxygen here I'm not thrilled about. I don't know. I was going to try and just pump this out, but with this polluted oxygen right here, that might actually be more of a nuisance. How hard would it be to run the gas pipe down from above with the hydrogen? So here's the hydrogen one. That's a lot of piping. And then when I'm done, I'll be left with a long pipe full of hydrogen. Again, a little less than ideal. If I had my second oxygen station ready, because once we expand out over here, we're probably going to need a second oxygen pump. If I had that ready, I could use the hydrogen from that, but that's not going to work either. What to do, what to do? Forget it. We'll just pump it down here. All right, we'll go to ventilation, grab ourselves a gas pump. We'll put it right up here in the hydrogen. This is going to need ventilation piping, of course. Send that out down here, like so. We're going to have polluted oxygen in here, too, most likely, so we'll put a filter on here. Just a little exit pipe over here. So, this up here. Whoops. Man, there's going to be a lot of piping. Through here. I'll probably have to build a ladder, but we should be able to build like right up here and into here. Gas vent here. Ladder over here. Okay. So that will give us that. I'm not going to bother with a huge power supply here because that would just be crazy. Oh, we need a ladder to reach this too, I guess. So we'll just throw down a little manual generator here they can work with. This should produce enough power. We can run both of our filter. And our pump. There we go. Weird little system, but whatever. Oh, we got a bag. Oh, he fell. Really? We bagged the Drakko down there. That is skill right there. All right. Get down there and get the Drakko. Poor little Drakko. We dropped him in a hole and he's stuck there now. So mean. Have I seen Doctor Strange or Infinity War? Yeah, I've seen both of them, actually. You don't have to tame them. One of the dupes has to use the machine. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you can't assign a person to it. You just click on it, and it just sort of doesn't do anything. So, I don't know. Oh, we might need somebody who's an operator. Let's check out our jobs. Do we have anyone who's in an operator job? Apprentice miner, general operator. Well, we have an electrical engineer, so theoretically they should be doing the operations stuff. And same thing with our mechatronics engineer. So we have people that can operate stuff. They just aren't. How does that work? Is there a job down here for shearing? Dig, wrangle, harvest, empty pipe, mop, disinfect. No, there's nothing here for shearing. I don't know. Have to see how this goes. Edges is so good, yeah. This poor Drakko, though, he's going to keep getting out on us, which I'm not really thrilled about. Oh, look, he's calling him over to shear him. There we go. Oh, first time. And he sort of crawled away. I mean, how does that work? And where did the duplicant go? He's like, wait, you got to wait for the shears. Come back. Still at 100% scale growth. So the shears are running with no Drakko in it. Is this broken? There we go. Oh, he's trapped now. We got him. Nope, you got out. All right, we have an issue. I see what the problem is. The problem is there's no air. So the duplicant who's trying to do the shearing has to run to catch his breath, and he can't finish the shearing job. Which means we're going to need oxygen like all the way down here. So, yeah, good times. Fabulous. And that also means this room that's filled with CO2 needs to have oxygen in it somehow, even though it's a sealed environment right now. Not so thrilled about that. All right. Sort of an extra little hiccup there. I don't need all these ladders. I just want them to be able to hop along and shear all the dirt off the bottom of this thing. Take all this off. We'll replace some of these with actual airflow tiles, so we can let the CO2 out. Let's fire this thing back up again. We'll clean up some of the CO2. We'll let the oxygen expand down this way. And then I'm going to need to figure out how I can get some oxygen in here while still keeping the hydrogen trapped. Which is, again, kind of important. But maybe if they get down to this point... Look, he's grooving the Drakko. If we get them down to this point, and there's actual oxygen at this lower level, then it might be okay. We shall see. Need to shut down checkpoints so dupes can build system. Oh yeah, this needs to get turned off. Thank you. Disable building. Pseudo duplicants may only pass if there's room in an exosuit dock to... Suited duplicates may pass even if there is no room to store their suits. Alright, interesting. Now, let's just disable that building, and then hopefully they'll be able to run past there to build all that stuff I wanted them to. Put a terrarium in there? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We could do that. I mean, we only have a little bit of algae, but as long as we're not using this hardcore, the algae terrarium would help. And then I can turn this off. Cleaned up a little bit of CO2. Not a ton. Oh, nice. I forgot that they kept the skills, so even though we moved this person away from farming, they kept the farming skills, so they can keep doing the farming. And cranking up our kilocalorie count, because we're just shooting for the moon now. We're going to have enough food to last forever. Can't build the pump because... Yeah, so I turned off the Exosuit checkpoint so they can go past it. Need exosuits. We do. I don't have an exosuit maker yet. I need one of those fancy machines. That should be in stations for the Exosuit Forge. Which I need to get rid of. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It would help if I actually tried to put it on the right floor. There we go. And the nice thing here is that this is right by a heavy watt power line, so we can just tap right into that directly. There we go. That'll give us our fancy Exosuit Forge. Make some more refined copper here, too. You should probably put batteries next to slave labor generator. Yeah, potentially. I'm only intending to run this for a short time, and then I'm going to break it all down. I don't really have much of a need for it. They still haven't gotten this bag Drakko over here. Let's try and change up the priority of what's this ladder down here so we can pick up that Drakko sooner than later. The poor guys have to hold their breath down here so much. There's a little bit of oxygen over here from that nice little spiral of oxalite, but otherwise it's just a giant carbon sinkhole. This thing's producing some oxygen, so let's hopefully we can finally shear ourselves a Drakko. That would be novel. How long does this thing take? Hey! Oh, wow. He's so ugly without his back end on him. That looks ridiculous. Oh, I feel bad for the guy now. I just feel guilty. Sheared the whole back end off him. Wasn't even like we just got the scales. Like, we took, like, his whole butt. He's buttless. He looks like the guy from Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. He's, like, stuck in a cauldron now. I believe we need plastics for Exosuit. I thought it was just weed fiber. But we'll see. We shall find out soon enough. Oh, here we go. It's actually ready to go. Atmos suit. Says I can make it. Copper ore and reed fiber. Yeah, so we don't need plastics, which is good. Good. Why does it say... Oh, we haven't built the power line yet. All right. Let's build one of these. And we'll build two. And we're going to need down here... Oh, they already finished that, so that's good. We'll need to deconstruct this ladder. And then we're going to put a couple of Exosuit docks in here. And hope I have this gate facing the right way. I don't even know if I do. It's been a long time since I built one, so I can't remember which direction the arrow's supposed to point. Novelty and Oni? You think not? Everything about this game is about novelty. What was Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. Banana. Oh, we got two Drackos in now. Haha. Our Drakko farm has its humble beginnings, but we do have to get some of this fancy hydrogen over there, so we deal with that. While we're doing that, I need polluted water in order to feed this. We don't really have a really big supply of polluted water here. It's actually kind of weird. Look at all this algae, though. We finally found a good pocket of algae, and we're sort of at that point now where I'm not as dependent on it. We're using it to feed to the fish. The fish are eating the algae, but otherwise, we're not having to deal with it too much. This algae trayer might actually mess with my gas pressures in here. I don't know, it's sitting above the CO2, it's fine. We might end up with like a layer of CO2, a layer of oxygen, and then a layer of hydrogen here. It'll be like a gas sandwich. Should turn off auto harvest in the Drakko meal ice. Yeah, I probably should. Let's harvest. Disable harvest on all these. Oh, it would help if I actually selected them. There we go. So the Dreckos could eat all of that. We don't really need the meal lice anyway. We have tons of it. Tons and scads and tons. Oh, over here, I wanted to get rid of this stuff here. I don't need this here anymore. Since I'm not actually doing this over on this side. We can break that down, let the gases filter through there normally. I think the shaved Dreckos should get cold and get more unhappy. I guess, but then it'd be hard to get them happy again. Poor little shaved Dracco. He has a 4% chance of getting the glossy Drecklet egg. What about this guy? Has he been eating meal? He's only at 3%. So I guess it's probably going to take a while for them to eat enough meal lice to really get much of a benefit. Growth halted. Atmosphere. I need water. I do need water. Ooh, yeah, it's getting low. Getting low. Where's our germs? Ooh, that's messy. Alright. I'm going to need to tap into some of this dirty water. As much as I'm loath to do this at the moment, because I'm not entirely set up to handle the germ situation. Let's build a ladder over here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dig in over here. Try to keep this tunnel narrow. Like that. We'll throw a ladder in here. Throw a water pump down here at the bottom. This is going to need some piping. You could finish that corner for me. Thank you. There we go. Send this back up through the tunnel. We're going to need piping here. This can go into a valve, or liquid vent rather, right there. We need a liquid bridge to cross over this pipe. And we'll connect this fancy pipe onto here. This tile's got to be broken so I can get through there to fix everything up. And then we'll need something here to seal off the gases. There's going to be some nasty, stinky junk coming out of here. Let's try to keep as much of the germs down here as we can. We'll do a little triple door. Actually, yeah, triple door. We'll throw a wash basin right here, so when they come out, they'll at least clean up a little bit. It's not going to do any good for the stuff they breathe. However, a couple of deodorizers should help take care of that. Okay. It's kind of messy, but that should get us the water that we'll need, because it'll take the polluted water, run it through the sieve, and then dump it into our main tank here. And that should be okay for now. Carbon skimmer's going to pump polluted water. Oh, do we have it connected there? I guess we do, yeah. Alright, that's not what I want. Yeah, you're right, we do. Alright, we gotta shortcut this, and then deconstruct liquid pipes right here. Actually, this isn't on, so as long as I have a bypass. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. All right, now we got a mess. All right, pump all this up, please. I forgot to empty the pipes first. Small miscalculation on my part. Just a bit outside. You guys are fine. Stop complaining. If I go to plumbing, actually, I can put that water right straight back in here. Do priority 7. This priority 6. Oh, they're gonna have it all cleaned. No, never mind. Drat. They got it all cleaned and dumped on me before I even got a chance to do anything with it. All right. Where's our liquid layout? That's fine. That's fine. Yep. Okay, so too many things I'm trying to build all at once here. And I still have to get to that fancy bedroom suite we have to make room for. Just ran a dirt near cycle 200 colony. Is there any way to make more dirt? Yeah, I think if you cook down fertilizer, it will turn into dirt. But you got to heat it up to a certain point. There might also be some of the critters now that actually produce dirt as an output. It's not hatches. Is it the... I don't think any of the hatches produce dirt. Stone hatch produces Well, this is diet. Coal. These guys are all coal, I believe. Wow, they've really expanded on this. Coal. Smooth hatchling produces copper, gold, iron, and tungsten. That's interesting. So they poop out refined metals, which is kind of handy. I seem to recall there is something that produces dirt. Or maybe I'm just thinking polluted dirt, which wouldn't be terribly handy. Puffed slickster. No. Maybe the puffs? Dense puff, he produces oxalite. This one produces bleach stone. That one's slime. Maybe not. I think you might have to cook down fertilizer in order to get dirt. Dreckos are best served with mint jelly and gravy. There's a plant in the lower right changing into different types of plants. Really? Down here, you mean? Or somewhere else? The Drakko used to produce dirt, but they changed it to phosphorite. Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking of then. Well, that messes with that plan. So I think the only way to do it now is to actually, if you heat up, if I'm not mistaken, I think if you heat up fertilizer to the right point, it'll produce dirt. You can also get dirt by evaporating water. So if you take polluted water and you evaporate it, it'll leave dirt behind also, but it's in very small quantities, so you have to evaporate a lot of it to get any reasonable amount of dirt out of it. But yeah, I guess running out of dirt could be a bit of an issue because it's kind of useful in a lot of ways. Lower right corner. You're talking about the plant that's changing? I mean, there's dust cap over here. I don't see plants though. I don't know. You got me. Beats me, man. Fertilizer equals dupe poop. Yeah, pretty much. Well, not only dupe poop, but also fish poop, because they make polluted dirt that you can convert into fertilizer. A lot of times you use clay instead of dirt. You can rebuild your farm tiles with clay, for example. Yeah, but don't you have to feed the farm tiles? Like these, for example, for mealwood, it actually needs to be fertilized with dirt. I don't think you can use clay for that. Oh, it's dust cap, yeah. So it sort of changes color as it gets big. It turns purpley, and then if it stifles, it goes back to brown. Fine to catch you live. Really love your channel. Keep it up. Thanks, Revo NL. All right. Some of the names are hard to say on this thing. Should make a new wash basin, go to left so they can clean. Yeah, that's what I wanted. This way, as they finish digging up this junk, they'll, Now, the tricky part here is I can't tell them to sweep up the slime because they'll take the slime and run it, like, all the way up to storage containers that well, actually, I have it hidden here, which is now exposed, so that's not great. We'll get some polluted oxygen here soon. It was underwater when we started it. No, not so much. I'm just happy we have a little Drakko farm going. We just need some hydrogen in here now. That way they'll be all super happy and stuff. Because right now, their happiness for reproduction is only 6-7%. So the reproduction's climbing. I guess it's tamed. It's just showing. It's showing the stats now. So I guess it must be fully tamed now. What about this guy? Come on, click on him. There we go. This one's still wildless, 36%. New pump has no power. Yeah, not yet. Let us add that in. Oops. Send that right along here. Just follow the same routes. Bob's your uncle. Bake the slime into dirt. Is it slime that you bake into dirt? I thought it was fertilizer you could bake into dirt, but maybe baking fertilizer turns into sand. I haven't really had to do a lot of that. So you could be right about the slime. Am I going to be playing more Frostpunk? Yeah, I'm actually going to be streaming it on Saturday night. They eat mealwood in the trees? Yeah, so these guys here, they eat the plants. So if you look at their diet, right here, oh, it's oxygen. If you look at the Drakko diet, it says that they eat mealwood, pinch of pepper plant, and balm lily. So you actually have to have the plant, mealwood. That's what they eat. They don't eat the product of the mealwood. They eat the plant itself. These guys aren't hungry right now, but when they eat, they'll actually like eat at the plant, which is kind of neat. Magic cooking slime kills germs too. Yeah, it does. So you get like a double win. Now the tricky part is like, where can you do it? So we could actually, again, use the copper volcano for that. If we put metal plates in to allow the metal plates to get super hot and put the slime on top of it, theoretically, with enough time, it would cook it over and convert it. And then we could have like an auto sweeper pick it up and move it somewhere to like store it. So they don't have to send a duplicate in constantly, but... It's just like a 2D post-apocalyptic Sims? Not exactly. It's kind of a neat little colony management thing. Okay. I still want to build this farm up here, but I don't have time. God, with only 8 duplicates working in here, I've kind of been busy doing too many other things. How's our germ situation? It's not too airborne in here yet, which is good. It's all carbon dioxide in here, though, too, so... Digging like crazy now. There we go. Super germy, but we've got stuff. These are working now to convert some of that polluted oxygen. So that they'll have actual breathable air in here soon, which is good. Good work, little dudes. Now to build a furnace without cooking your dupes. You know, well, there is that also. So you probably want to have it somewhere near your exosuits. But again, you could set it all up ahead of time and then prep it all with automation. So using auto sweepers, the auto sweepers can be used to deliver items and then also to pick up items. So if you send slime in there on the rail, it can pick it up and maybe put it in a storage container that's sitting on top of that hot metal floor and cook it in the container. And then it would convert into dirt, which would fall on the floor as long as you don't have the storage container set up to hold dirt. And then have another auto sweeper in the room that's set up to pick up the dirt. Well, actually, another exit rail, so the auto sweeper that's in there would pick up the dirt as it falls on the floor, put it on the rail to send it out. So you could actually create a whole automated system around it and cook up some fancy dirt for yourself. Nothing beats fresh roasted dirt. Just like Mama used to make. Hey, Ruben. Thanks for subbing to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Is this game on console or mobile? No, just PC at this point. The game's not finished yet, though. It's still in development. So, like, every 6 weeks or so, 6 to 8 weeks, they're coming out with another update that adds more stuff. So we're sort of playing around with a lot of stuff right now that's related to... the last update, the Ranching Upgrade Mark II, which added a whole bunch of new critters to the game and a bunch of variations of critters. I still don't see... I wish I could tell in here for the eggs that are stored how far along they are in the incubation process. I want to see that little sage hatchling. Curious. This is almost done down here. What do we got priority-wise? Priority 7 on that. Let's try to maximize our priority here so we can get out of this space. Once this is set up in here, they won't even have to go down here, which is nice. And we have a nice carbon dioxide seal here, too, so none of this nastiness is going to get out. So much to do. Would you need to cool the dirt before you use it? Yeah, potentially. Depending on what you're going to use it for. For the most part, once you feed products into a machine or a system... Oh, there we go. So they got that finished. It's draining water. Obviously, if we want to use this carbon scrubber again, I'm gonna have to fix all the connection piping here. Actually, why did I don't even know why I broke it. That was actually really dumb of me. I could leave this connected. And then we'll just do a quick little empty pipe here. Once they empty these pipes, I can just destroy those. So this way, all I have to do is turn on the scrubber and it'll keep working again. That's probably a better idea. How's the temp looking? It's sort of mellowed out a little bit once they put some of these wheezeworts in, so it's kind of it's holding on the warm side. It's not as cool as I'd like it to be, but it's also not super crazy hot or anything. I really need a place to cool this stuff off. And I don't have a good place to do it yet. So after being, do plants regrow themselves, or do we have to replant with new seeds? I'm actually not sure, but I have a crazy number of seeds. I haven't seen them eat the plants yet. I've seen them eat bomb lilies in the wild, but I haven't seen what they do to the meal lice yet. So I am a little bit curious. What's our germ situation right here? Ugh, it's germy. Of course it's germy. I could dig in here, we'll get a whole bunch of slime lung in the air again. What do I want to do here? So what I'm thinking is, like, right in here, I can put a room. That's not going to be big enough. It's got to be a little bit bigger. We could put a room, like, right in here. And with this room, we can have sort of a cooling setup for our oxygen piping. So if we put that in there, and then we put in, say, like 4 Wheezeworts in here. That'll be in furniture. We'll, of course, have to go gather more from the cold biome. But if we put those in there, and then we snake the piping through here with radiant piping, then we should be able to get the Wheezeworts to cool the oxygen down. So when it's coming out down here, instead of being at like 32 degrees, it'll be more in like the low to mid 20s kind of temperature, which would actually be ideal. That would really help even out our colony a lot. Both your nostrils are blocked, and it's really rather warm in your room. Pray for you. Oh, that's gross. Did the pack all die? What pack? I'm confused. I left one of the pipes on 5, not 7. Did I? Let's check that. Oh, it's all finished anyway. So that's a moot point. So now we're cleaning out our water. This will get really warm down here. This water sieve unfortunately heats up a lot when it's running constantly. It's at 67 degrees and climbing, which is going to be bad news for our plants. What's the temperature of the water coming out of here? 31 degrees. So that's actually a pretty reasonable temperature. This is making polluted dirt, which is great also. So we're going to have to clean that up because it's going to get all stinky. All right. I might need to alter my plan here a little bit. I was kind of planning to do... Let's deconstruct this. We'll throw a tile right here. No, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. I got... With this pipe up top here, it's actually going to be a real problem. So I was going to try and liquid cool it. I guess I could kind of drip it into the space maybe a little bit and then let it drain through the opening over here. Let's cancel that. Because it would pool up and help cool the machine. Now, I know they fixed the bug that lets you do super cooling this way, where it was destroying a lot of the heat. But if we put this right here with... This will at least help maybe a little bit. Because if this machine overheats, it's going to be a real problem. The sieve gets super hot when it's operating. So let's deconstruct the liquid pipe that's in here. And we'll use a different vent instead, now that I've done all that work to get that other one going. Let's prioritize this at an 8, because I want them to get this dealt with sooner rather than later. We'll see how that goes. Pelio, finally have spare funds to send a super chat. Your Oni is always a spirit lifter before I have to go manage dupes on my own in my job the next day. Well, thanks so much for the super chat. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you for supporting the channel. You cheat, you deconstruct, sweep, rebuild with one new material. I'm confused. Oh, I don't want to cheat, though. There's a sand block. I'm stuck in the door. Oh, there is. It doesn't really matter too much, though, because they don't even need to go through there now. I'll clear it out, though, just in case. If they would build this vent right here, and this actually... Oh, wait a minute. I need them to build this first, so let's do this priority 9. No! You're supposed to go build that first. Somebody go build it, quick, before we have a flood. There we go. Ah! Okay. Water sieve is now at 38 degrees, so that's perfectly cooled. That works fantastic. Excellent. It's messy looking, I'll grant you that. But we have a water sieve now that's not going to overheat. We have clean water refilling our tank, and there should be this should be able to run for a while before it drains all this out, so that's good. So we've solved our short-term water crisis. This is nasty, nasty, nasty up here. What do I want to do in here? Maybe I'll put... Just to keep from having a polluted oxygen problem, let's put a little filter in there. I'm going to build this at a 7. Go to work, guys. Let's get that polluted oxygen cleaned up. You should pretend your work is managing dupes, too. That might make it more unbearable, I suppose. As long as you don't, like, Try to lock them in a room full of chlorine gas. That would be bad. Why don't I use hotkeys? It's some sort of like weird mental block. I'm terrible with using hotkeys. You're right. I totally should, and people bug me about it all the time. But I'm old and incompetent. So I just never do. I don't know why. Do you know you can adjust your settings to read Fahrenheit in the game? You can. They've got some of this built over here, but I keep retasking them, which is not really speeding the process up any. 39 degrees. This is still warming a little bit, so this isn't a perfect cooling mechanism, but it's doing a pretty efficient job at keeping the water sieve from skyrocketing. It's at 39 degrees and climbing now. So over time, this is still going to heat up, and then we might have to shut it down, but for now, it should work fairly well. And I can see our water level's already starting to rise here, so that's good. Good times. Harambe. You feel like the base is getting slime lunged again? It might be. It might be. What have we got here germ-wise? Yep, a little bit of germs. Very low quantity right now, though, so that's not bad. If we set up a sweeping job in here to get rid of the slime, that should take care of that. We don't have any wheezeworts, so we're going to have to send some poor fool down here to get frozen again. Dig up some more wheezewort. Now, we've had a lot of hypothermia issues because of this. So I feel a little bit bad, but not super bad. Dig all this out, please. Might as well get the frost wheat there too while we're at it. All right, so we'll get that next. If I copy the settings on this, I can tell them to plant these ahead of time, so they'll automatically pick that stuff up. In here, we're gonna need some fancy snaked piping with the radiant gas pipes, and we'll make those out of iron, I guess, since I have a fair amount of iron. And we're just going to snake it through the space like this. And then go back out. So that'll be like our little cooling mechanism. It'll circle through here, and it should help lower the temperature of the gas. It's not going to like freeze it out, I don't think. Unless the temperature in that room gets to be absurd. But it should help lower the temperature from like the 30 range to closer to the 20 range. And then when it mixes with the air in the rest of the colony, it should help a lot. I just saw a hatch take a really big poop, and man, did he grimace. Someone get these guys some stool softener. It's so bad. Slime around the granulator? Is there? Ooh, yeah, there is. Let's get that swept up too. We don't want that. That is disaster in the making right there. Actually, set this priority 7. Clean up that slime. I don't even remember where I'm storing it. I think up here is where I'm storing it, in the chlorine room, which is okay. Or way down bottom? Either place is fine, though, as long as it keeps it out of the way. Yeah, we are getting a little slime lung buildup, but once we get rid of that slime, it should be better. Once the source is gone, it usually dies relatively quickly in the air. At the end of the stream, can you flood the base in lava in honor of the Pahoa volcano? Aw, the poor colony. They'll all scorch and die. Should use the insulated tiles around your air cooling room. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea, but I'm gonna leave it for the moment and see what happens. Because it'll naturally cool the space around it that way a little bit. My trick is I want this to get cold, but I don't want this to be like super duper cold. Because I don't want the gas to get to like ridiculous temperatures going through here. The radiant piping really allows for heat transfer a lot. Slime's below that room. Yeah, I had them sweep it up. Well, we do have a bunch of germs in the air, but these will die off. It's all oxygenated up here. I don't see... Oh, there's a little polluted oxygen. You know what? Let's maybe throw a little air deodorizer here and try to clean up some of this polluted oxygen. And I'm going to set this priority down here to 6. I'm going to get this stuff here. Dun, dun, dun. Almost like pooping out a rock is painful. I know, right? Imagine that. That world, sea blessed you with a huge cold biome so nearby. Set up my electrolyzer system with a cold biome and it cooled the base brilliantly. Yeah, that would help a lot too. Oh, hypothermia. I feel bad about not giving these guys sweaters. They don't get very far. And you know what it is? It's all this polluted water that's right here. They run through the polluted water and they get hypothermia much faster. The trouble is if I tell them to bottle this stuff by mopping it up, then somebody's going to want to pick it up and put it up here. It's kind of a nuisance. Will that shine bug with the coal generators eventually die of heat? Please wrangle the poor thing. Well, you can't wrangle shine bugs. You have to lure them. Their preferred temperature range is not stated, apparently. Carbon dioxide, shine bug. There we go. Yeah, they don't really have a preferred temperature range. I think it'll be fine. Now he'll die of old age eventually because they only live for so long. There's another shine bug over here, but I can't wrangle them. You have to actually lure them, and you need plastics to build the lure. So I can't do that just now. Can you incense my colony 3 guys? You mean increase my colony by 3 people? I could. We have plenty of food. Make sure our oxygen's obviously in really good shape. It's funny, this one little oxygen room is supplying this colony for 8 duplicants with no trouble at all. It would probably be a different story if it had to build it up from basically like no concentration of oxygen. But now that it's at high concentration, it's just keeping it all level. It's great. This thing's working awesome. And so much more compact than the original version I used to make. A lot less waste in that system. This is filling up nicely. Oh, right. Down here I was going to build Exosuit docks. So we need more stations so we can build those. 2 of these, because I'm going to build 2 Exosuits ideally. Reed fiber 2/0. I guess they just haven't swept up the reed fiber. You know what? If I change my storage settings here, we should probably set this to include reed fiber. No, we don't want that. Industrial ingredients, that's what it is. Reed fiber. So now they'll pick it up off the floor from down here. So at least we won't leave that waiting. The unfortunate thing with this setup here to cool the system down is that I have duplicants running through yucky water all the time. Which isn't great. They all get soggy feet, which adds to their stress. Which, yeah, I mean, our stress is in pretty good shape overall. It's only 26% in the highest person. So it's not really a big deal. But if you have to manage stress, you don't really want them running through puddles that way. I believe next time me and Nelly return, the rooms should be up and running and better than Durgan's. We gotta get plastics to make it better than Durgan's. But I need space to build them first. So we're kind of very slowly moving our way towards that. My goal is going to be to dig up from here and hollow this out. And that's going to take a bit of germ management. I mean, for the most part, everything's going relatively swimmingly in here. Oh, well, what do we got going on here? Hypothermia, hypothermia. Everybody's got hypothermia. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to give you all hypothermia. It's just sort of a natural byproduct. Colony requires medbit. I have so many sick duplicants. They get down here. They're in the room for like 2 minutes and they have a hypothermia. Why don't you mop up by the door? Oh, I guess we need to mop this too. We're going to keep jumping in the puddle. And this. I mean, really. So much nasty water. We don't have enough room for... Oh, I guess we can put another medbed in here. Furniture... Nope, it's in medical. That would make sense. Medbed. Poor sick duplicants. It's so not fair. You know what? I really shouldn't do a medbed. What I should do instead is another one of these little chambers. They work a little quicker. Deconstruct. Come on. Cooperate. It's going to take power. Oh, I need refined metal too. So much to do, so little time. I feel like we're making such slow progress because I keep having to run around doing random tasks. You want to dupe if I increase the population? I make no promises. I largely select them by random scenarios. Usually random scenarios in super chats, because I want to reward people for the super chat scenario. This needs to be set for polluted oxygen. I still haven't finished that. It's so slow! Mesh tiles for cold room biome floors. Yeah, that would probably work. In here, you mean, yeah. That would help drain it out, I guess. So if we swap that out, then they wouldn't have to mop. That'll solve that part. I mean, over here, it's still going to be an issue, but... Poor soggy-footed frozen duplicants. I'm so mean. Mohorn Marie looking really sick in the pharma chamber. Puddles in the cold room. Mesh tile, yeah. I guess I'm due to always have hypothermia. I guess so, Andrew. You've spent a lot of time with hypothermia in my game. If I was smart, I'd build you a sweater, but the trouble is, like, once you equip a sweater on a duplicant, you can't really... What are you running on this thing for? It's not even powering anything. How about you do this? No. Alright, get off of here. You move over here. And then let's just disable this for now. Disable building. When we're ready, you can go run on the treadmill all you want. But right now, you're just wasting time. 40 likes. Which, on the stream, you mean? Pause the stream, then I was like, oh yeah, this isn't a regular video. Well, you can pause streams. It'll allow up to like 4 hours of replay. So you can like pause it and then watch it back at double time to play catch-up kind of thing. You live in International Falls, Minnesota. My daughter thinks you're awesome. Well, thanks, Nicole. I'm glad she really enjoys the channel. I'm just happy people like watching this stuff, because I love playing it. If no sweater, how about hot chocolate? I wish you could do hot chocolate. That would be funny. For some reason, my system signed me out of chat. That's really weird. Very strange. They never did pick up this reed fiber. It's just laying there on the floor. And they're not building this for some reason. Why not? We have lots of copper ore, but it's saying I have 0 available reed fiber, even though I have some sitting right here on the ground. There's reed fiber 4 sitting right there. I wonder if this is bugged at the moment. Is it even recognizing the reed fiber? Oh, right. I forgot about this polluted oxygen thing. Sorry, polluted water thing. So they actually changed around the algae terrariums. It used to be able to just consume water, and then with this last update, they made it so they consume the water and produce polluted water. So it looks like they cleaned it up finally, but it's spiffy, hard at work down here. I bet you part of my problem with the hypothermia down here is that the duplicants are running through water up here. They're getting soggy feet, and then they're coming down here into the cold biome with additional soggy feetness. They can't win. And I kind of don't want them to pick this stuff up. How can I tell them not to sweep this stuff? No, I don't want that, because I don't want them picking up the ice and things. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Favorite is to watch CrypticFox on 2x speed. The dupe zoom, and my voice goes up an octave too. How about you do this? Nope. That's pretty much how it goes. It's kind of like herding cats in this game sometimes. When you put Cryptic on 2x speed, he sounds like an angry Sonic fan. That your actions have consequences. You can select the dupe and click unequip clothing. Yeah, but it would just be nice if you could set like a gate for them to pass through. So every time they walk through, they ditch the sweater kind of thing. Like if I could... So similar with like the Exosuit, for example. If you could put like a closet, and when they walk by it, they would put the sweater on to go to the cold biome. When they come back out, they would take the sweater off. That would be really handy. Don't the Dreckos have to have hydrogen to grow their coats? Yeah, that's the idea. I'm going to fill the top portion here with some hydrogen. The trouble is, I've got them doing a whole bunch of other tasks, but when they finish the piping here, I'm going to grab this pocket of hydrogen here that's at about 2,000 grams, and we're going to pump it into this space here so it'll float along the top layer, and that should give us the space. They don't have to be in the hydrogen all the time. They just have to access to go in and out of it, and that kind of fixes it. Is access to the Dracko room restricted in any way? Nope, it's a wide open door, and they did finally sweep it up. So they've got the reed fiber, and maybe now it'll recognize it in my inventory. Still not. Missing 2 units of reed fiber. Funny, it's saying I can make 1 suit because I have 2 reed fiber, but I could have sworn I had 4 sitting on the floor here when I picked it up. Not sure what the deal is, but at least we can make 1 Atmo suit. That's something. When they get around to doing it, because I have them doing all kinds of other stuff. You can try changing the priority in the bottle empty here. Yeah, I could do that too. Let's maybe lower that down. We'll set this maybe to like a 5 for now. I can't believe how much food we have. 387 kilocalories. We've almost filled up another fridge. I'm gonna have to put another storage box down here. Stick a ration box down here with the CO2s just so we have more space to put food. Because we keep producing it. It's like a never-ending stream. Whenever I start a new colony, I usually mess up. Any tips? I've made a couple of videos about how to stabilize your colony in the first 10 cycles of the game. Really, like obviously when you're starting out, the first thing you need is a place for the duplicants to go to the bathroom. So you're going to want outhouses right away. Try to move into research relatively early. I try to research farming early on, so you can start to plant some mealwood early on to grow meal lice. Don't try to clean up carbon dioxide, so avoid using the algae terrariums. This is a special circumstance where I have 1 here, but that's the only one you'll find in my colony. They consume a lot of water as well as consuming the algae. Instead, just dig a hole and let the carbon dioxide naturally flow into the lower part of your base, and deal with it later when you're better equipped to deal with it. And then in the interim, just worry about gathering up resources. All the fish died? Ooh, they did. They didn't even lay eggs. Aww. I messed up my fish farm. There were so many in there. You know what? Actually, it was probably too many. I bet you the issue... Oh, that was probably the mushroom you were saying that was changing. I bet you the issue in here was that I had too many of them in one space, so they weren't happy, so they weren't laying eggs. And then when they died, they all sort of died at the same time. That sucks. I have to build... I mean, we don't really need the food anyway. 385,000 kilocalories, but later on when we rebuild our Paku fish tank, we'll have to deal with that. Every time you queue up the suits, the display subtracts what is reserved for use from your total. Well, I mean, I guess so, but we have 4. And I'm trying to queue up... I've got 1 suit queued up, which subtracts 2. So I should be able to queue up a second one. But it doesn't work. I don't know. You got me. Ooh, we have one fancy little... one fancy little wheezeboard in here. We need 3 more at least. What's our temperature look like up there? It's warm in that room. I hope there's even enough gas in here for this to work. It might not have enough gas in there. They eat algae and you ran out, so they died? No, this is full. There's 200 kilograms of algae in here, so that's not it. I've got the feeder in here to feed them. It's not that. It's just that the critters have a lifespan now, so they'll last a certain amount of time and then they'll die. And I think what happened was I had too many of them in the one little area, so they weren't happy. And because they weren't happy, they weren't laying eggs. And then they all died because they hit the maximum lifespan, and they didn't leave any eggs behind to replace the population. Insulated tiles around the cooler room. Yeah, for now, I'm kind of leaving it, hoping that... Well, we get enough of these wheezworts in here. I want the temperature to be cold in here, but not super cold. So I'm actually hoping that it'll cool the surrounding area a tiny bit. Ooh, we got more... There's 3 more wheezworts here. If they would just go and grab those. There. Grab those wheezworts, and then that'll be ready. And then if we go up here for priority, we'll set this priority 7. We'll do all this. Like so. I think the suit's grayed out in the queue because the resources haven't been brought to the Exosuit machine yet. I have the same thing with my food machines. Yeah, I mean, that could be it. It's funny, they brought some of it up there, but I guess not all of it. I don't know. Oh, there's 1 Exosuit, so that's good. That's funny. They built... Oh, right. These need power and oxygen still. I forgot about that. Okay. What I was going to do for the oxygen supply in here... What is this? Hydrogen. Okay. For my oxygen supply for these suits, I'm actually just going to build a little ladder up here. We'll hollow out a little space in here. Finish this off with some blocks. Actually, I don't really need the one there. We can put... Actually, I can't use blocks here. I'm going to need a door. For oxygen, we'll use one algae deoxidizer in here. We're going to get one gas pump in here. This is going to be messy. I'm doing a really good job of making a mess of my colony now. Little sideways door. We're going to need power in here, obviously, which isn't great. How's my power grid? Alright, circuit status. Maximum 2,000 watts. So, you know, obviously this one's fine. Yeah. I'm obviously not tapping all of it right now. What is this connected to that could be used? Food. Well, the alchemy table we're not using. Alright, so there's a lot on this power line, but actually not that much that's that bad. So, if I switch this around a little bit, I can free up some capacity. We'll deconstruct wires here and get rid of these. That's fine. They're only using this periodically, so I think actually this is fine. The maximum load capacity on this wire is really high, but it's actually drawing very, very little. So because of that, I can tap into this line a little bit more to power these machines over here. Like so. We'll set up a gas ventilation pipe in here. I'm gonna need a gas bridge. Man, I hate having a really messy setup, and I've done a really good job in this colony of making it as messy as I can manage. And we'll set that up for oxygen. Then we're gonna need power down here also. And these draw 120 watts each. That's actually a fair amount. But again, this system, I guess we're not really tapping all that much, so we can go this way. Alright, there we go. And then obviously we'll need an exosuit there still. Don't forget, 2 nice troops. Nope, I won't forget. I know we need to build it, but I'm trying to get stuff set up down here so I can get get some exosuits going. So when I dig up here into the slime biome to make more room for the colony, I'm not gonna have a whole bunch of sick dupes on my hands. Oh, nice. This is finished up here. Okay, how's our temperature? See, it's cooling these pipes nicely. Let's connect these pipes up. We'll do insulated gas pipe. I need... Where's my gas overlay? There we go. Connect in here, and then we're going to deconstruct these. Oh, man, that was fast. Okay, so the gas is coming down here at 38.6 degrees. It's coming out of the bottom at 29.2 degrees. So just below 30. 29, 28, 28 degrees. It's going to hover right around 28, it looks like. Which is actually just a little bit warmer than I want it to be. So I think we will actually need some insulation in here. Unfortunately. It is nice how stable that is, though. That's really good. I cancel this. Obviously, I don't need this. All right. Nevertheless, it's like 28 degrees coming out of there now. So I've already managed to shave about 4 degrees off of it. Actually, about 6 degrees off it just by shunting it through this one little room. So that'll help our temperature issue in the base a little bit, too. Hooray! And the best part is it doesn't require any additional energy. Gas pipe bridge is backwards. Oh, did I set it backwards? I mean, I very well might have. No? Is this the bridge you're talking about? The gas comes out of the pump, goes into the intake, goes over the bridge, comes out of the output, and goes into the suit. Should be fine. Unless you're talking about a different bridge. Which, I mean, is possible. I don't know if I have any anywhere else right now. Hey, Fox. Reality of auction not included. 10s in, and you 10s in and you die. I'm really confused. Reality of oxygen not included. 10s in and you die. Super confused by that statement. I have no idea what you're saying. Hey, Cryptic. Got caught up with the other videos in the series. Glad I could join everybody live again. Welcome, Kayla. Or Kalia, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say any names. I'm terrible. We need more power. More power, Captain. We're actually doing really good with these generators. 2 coal generators are really handling everything really well. I should probably make sure we have lots of consumable ore. 8.8 tons, so we're in good shape that way. These guys are pooping out coal, which is keeping us supplied with a little bit additional. Obviously, in the long run, I'm going to want to get a scenario set up where they're pooping out ridiculous amounts of coal, but they just don't eat nearly as much as they used to, which means they don't poop as much. I don't know what it is with games I play, but I always seem to be chasing after animal poop. Ark Survival Evolved, this game, other games that are escaping my brain right now because I'm SMRT. Yeah, hydrogen in the Weezewort room would help also. You are absolutely correct, because it has a better heat capacity. Also, this oxygen isn't flowing as quickly as it was. So it's staying in the room longer, which means it's going to come out cooler. Not much cooler. 27, 28 degrees is actually pretty good. A little bit cooler would be better. So it's going in at 37 and coming out at 28. That's awfully good. And it's requiring no energy or input on my part. So I'm happy with that. In general, that's going to help with the overall temperature in the colony. This pipe here, I still haven't dealt with this. That's all full of regular liquid. Let's take a quick look at the heat here as well. If we get rid of this, it will help with our heating issue a lot. Because this pipe here is really warm, and it's kind of heating the space. If we go to empty pipe, check our water overlay. It's going to be costly from a water perspective, but if I clear this out, if they can go and empty that, then I could replace it with insulated pipe, and that will help temperatures a wee bit. Maybe lower one level in the refrigerator room with the thermo tiles or some plates. Yes, I absolutely could. If I put thermal plates in here, it would probably help also. What have we got here? Let's go utilities. Temp shift plate. Obsidian. Thermally reactive. I never really know what I should use in here. I guess we have a fair amount of copper. We could use copper. Slow heating. That's not going to work. I guess we want thermally reactive. We could just use obsidian, I guess. Diamond is like the ultimate one to use in here, but... Oh. Okay, that thermal shift plate will help even out the temperature in here. Will probably help reduce the temperature in the piping even more. Can you play PC Building Sim? I actually want to play that. My biggest issue right now is trying to find time. Overpressurized? Yeah, the colony is overpressurized right now, so this is only pumping periodically. Wolframite would be best. You're right, I haven't harvested any. Well, actually, diamond's better than wolframite, but again, we haven't gotten any diamond either. This will work for now. I don't really need something that's hyper efficient. It'd be one thing if I was trying to create like a deep freeze, in which case I want to pump out the maximum amount of cold. But in this instance, I'm actually just trying to chill the air. So this actually works really good as an air conditioning unit. See how it goes. Replacing with the insulated pipe doesn't leave water. Oh, it doesn't? All right, we'll try that. Try and swap this out. As long as it doesn't spill water all over the place. It's because it's germy water, too. Like, that would be really important. Let's replace all this with insulated piping. We'll see what happens. You need a plumber on your base to empty the pipes. Well, I had somebody who has the plumber skill, so it's fine. I have the empty pipe skill already. The person who was a plumber, we moved on to another job. Let's stop them from doing this little silly stutter step here, too. Hey, CrypticFox, got a trick for you to get more time to play more games. Ready? Play less Fortnite. What? No, don't. I can't do that. Stop it. That's not a good trick. My only thing with Fortnite is I wish I was better at the game. The plight of everyone, I guess. Alright, temperatures are even out pretty good. This thing, what's it running at? 40 degrees. Got a little warmer, but it's not too bad. This worked actually. This actually worked really well to keep the temperature under control. I like that. We're getting low on polluted water though, so this is going to run out. We'll need a different system of water supply soon. Probably not before the next stream, but that's okay. Why not remove the deodorizer and put another plant in there? Yeah, I could now actually deconstruct this. I'm not really interested in putting another plant in so much. Because again, I'm not trying to get super cold. I'm just trying to get to like reasonable temperatures here. It's coming out at 30 degrees now. That actually made it worse putting the temp shift plates in. Well, that was counterproductive. I guess we do need another Wheezewort. There is... No, that's polluted... polluted oxygen? Is that... No, there's ice. Man, I was like, man, don't tell me I managed to actually freeze oxygen in here. It can't be that cold. Take this out. We'll get that Wheezewort. That'll be Wheezewort number 4. We can place that in here. We've got this deconstructed, so in the furniture we want our fancy flower pot. Man, the temp shift plates actually made it worse in there. That guy stinks. I guess I was actually cooling the pipes more than the space, and that was actually to my benefit. This sort of evens out the temperature in the whole area, which isn't quite as nice. Because everything's actually warm in here. Actually, you know what it is? I think the materials I built the shift plates out of is a little on the warm side. I mean, it's helping. It's still shaving 7 or 8 degrees off, but this thing is not being put in. No fabrication queued. Again, it's not recognizing the reed fiber we had. All right. Can I tell this thing to put... Deliver Exosuit. There we go. Man. No power. No, we haven't finished the power down there yet. I really need to bring in a couple more duplicants. I feel like I want to get more jobs done all the time, but I'm so busy retasking my guys all the time to do something else that I'm just not tackling as much as I would like to. Let's do copy settings, put that here, and then set this for party 7. Oh, it's fine. It's all good. Hopefully they go get that Wheezewort soon. Go, buddy, go. Might as well cancel this since they're just running over it anyway. Hey, you got the Wheezewort. That was fast. Run, buddy, run. Don't run of air. This needs mopping, though. Oh, he dropped it. He ran out of air and he dropped the... All right, he'll go back and get it. Or someone else will. There we go. He's got the wart. Oh, he dropped it too. Somebody pick up the Wheezewort. It's right there. Get the Wheezewort. Somebody. You had to go into the freezing room to do your breathing. All right, whatever. Crazy duplicant. Picked up 1 wart. There we go. He's making a run for it. If he can get to the oxygen, he won't drop it. He didn't get to the oxygen. He dropped it. It's like they're playing hot potato with this thing. Only it's cold. Another sort of an opposites thing. All right, we'll let that run for a bit. We'll see how that cools things off. That's 5 Wheezeworts in there. That should provide a fair amount of cooling. Are the bristleberries affected by heat? They are. And they are overheated. This thing down here, even though... Oh, boy. Even though we're cooling this a little bit, it is providing enough heat that it's actually altering the temperature in this area. So I really should put... I wish I could make the door out of abyssalite. That would be great. Put a little door here. We'll throw some insulated tile in. Try to keep this under control. See how that goes. They are getting a little affected by heat, but again, we have almost 400,000 kilocalories. I could actually do with just like laying down some of my food on the ground to walk on, so they could have like a food carpet, and they would still be okay. I think the generators would come down again if the temp shift plates. But it would have taken a bit. Yeah, I mean it might. We'll see. I think what was happening was that the Wheezeworts were cooling the pipe more than the surrounding area, and now that it has to share the cooling across the whole area, it's staying warmer. It's still coming at like 30 degrees, even with the 5th Wheezewort in there. But again, 30 degrees actually isn't bad compared to 37. So not the end of the world. It's okay. It'll keep things even keeled anyway. If not exactly ideal. For the polluted water, go break into the other 2 pools beside it to make the water... Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we could do that. So we've got this fish pool here, and then this one up above. But this one up above is where we have our fish tank, so I don't really want to break that one necessarily. I do want to restock our Paku eventually. We could probably even do that from right in here. Just grab this egg. Set up this thing to drop it in again. We could do the fish drop-off, but I think we need plastic for that. Fish release. Releases trapped fish back into the world. This building must be built above liquid to prevent fish from suffocating. This building must be built above liquid to prevent fish from suffocating. How does that work? Oh, I see, because they'll fall. I get it. So we can get rid of this. Oh, actually, we won't be able to drop the egg in, though. Only the fish. There's another prime example of me getting distracted, and I'm not working on the stuff I was already working on. Let's dig through this. And we shall grab this egg. Where's my fish chamber? Oh, overshot. Okay, in here we need a block underneath this. And then this fridge can be set to hold the Paku egg. I wonder if they'll just... Actually, will they drop the egg in there without any floor underneath it? Or will they assume they can't do anything with the fridge? That I don't even know. Oh, they're getting soaked. He pooped out polluted dirt. Alright, that gives us another good supply of water anyway. Let's get this done over here. Ooh, we got... No, they're still waiting for the exosuit. You're almost finished, dudes. Come on. What do we have in here? We have hydrogen in here. Hydrogen? That's no good. I don't really want to filter this, though. This stinks. You know what? I'll just pump the wrong gas in here and let them break it. They can fix it after. Another pool beside the Paku aquarium. Oh, over here. Yeah, it's a little tiny one, though. I don't even know if that's worth digging my way up to. Oh, wow. Look at this. Is that a tropical one? It is a tropical Paku. What's this guy's deal? Diet algae, polluted dirt, lures, traps. It doesn't really say he does anything special. But he's happy. And he's making tropical eggs down here, too. That thing is ugly, though. Man, I thought the Paku were ugly, but that thing takes the cake. Can I wrangle this guy? Oh, no, I've got to lure it. That's right. If we go to food... Fish trap requires plastic, so we can't do that. Whoa. We have a Paku egg, so we can destroy this floor now, and that will drop it in the water. The freshwater supply is overheated from the drip cooling. It's alright. It doesn't really matter what the temperature is. It's 36 degrees. It's not really that bad. Oh, man, we made a mess in here, though. Let's mop this up a bit. And mop this up here, too. Yeah, I mean, it's warm. It's 36 degrees, so it's not super cold or anything. But the reality is, when you send water into the machines, it ends up producing at a certain fixed temperature anyway. So if this temperature was like 99 degrees and I pump it into an electrolyzer to produce oxygen, the gases are going to come out at like 40 degrees anyway, even though it's like 100-degree water going in. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter. You think tropical gives a decor bonus? So that could be. Looks like a pineapple in his mouth. With a mouth, yeah. They're all so mean. All Pakus are beautiful. I don't know, man. I don't know. This one looks like a little piranha. And look at the nose on him. It's all weird. It's like a piranha with a pig nose. This guy's got like a serious underbite. It's neat, though. I love that there's variety now. I think that just adds so much to the game. Let's take a peek for some other geysers here, too. A little cold up here. What's going on up there? Is there another... There must be another cold biome. Yeah, there's a bizolite for it there. Steam geyser. The other one we already outlined. Neutronium we won't even see in the cold biome, unfortunately, because it's already cold. That's a huge cold biome. That's unbelievable. Alright, I think that's it for geysers. Nothing else magical geyser-wise. This one's hampering your blossoms. Oh, yeah, the temperature has gotten too high in down here. So it's like 29 degrees, and the blossoms prefer a temperature that's in 5 to 30, so it's just kind of like occasionally tipping up over that temperature. 28 degrees. Oh, I see what you mean. The hydroponic farm tiles are coming in too hot. Liquid pipe containing 34.7. Yeah, so it's actually, it is a little on the warm side. Ah, that stinks. It's not affecting all of them, though. It's funny. Like, the ones on this side, they're fine. These ones over here, they're too warm. Alright, what we can do then is, if we go into furniture, we can build some ice blocks down here. Let's convert all these over to liquid tiles, or mesh tiles, rather. We don't need to do that last one. We'll do some mesh tiles. We'll build some ice sculptures down here. The cold water flowing in will help to, should help to start evening it out. Tropical Paco looks like it has dreadlocks. Yeah, I guess. Dracko escaped. Ah, these things are always getting out. There's no keeping them in those rooms. I need to figure out like a Dracko-proof room that they can't climb out of. He's glum. Aw, poor little guy's glum. He doesn't have any hydrogen. Let's wrangle him, please. Let's do that. Get that Drakko back in his room. He has no business being out here. And they started to wrangle him and then stopped. What? Don't let him out. He's gonna get away. These guys are insidious. They end up everywhere in your colony. Oh, look, this thing is going like mad. Pumping gases down here. It took a little damage, but not too bad. It's almost full there. Our power should be in a good position. Yeah, this exosuit's almost ready to use. Sweet. Which means we'll be ready to start hollowing out up here. How's our airlock down here, actually? Nice. We have a carbon dioxide airlock here, so that'll stop any gases from coming through. Let's go ahead and build our ladder up here. We'll dig all this junk out. And this will be the start of our new luxury suite area. Now here's the tricky part. The people that can use the exosuits, the people can actually drill the rock. That might be an issue. They can build the ice blocks underwater and they will melt immediately. You don't have to wait. Oh, that'd be handy. We could try that. They've already built them now, but it's mostly just cooling the air. It's gonna take a little while for them to melt. You're right. Let me see if I can build these underwater. Let us see. It's in furniture. See what happens if we build them right underwater. That'd be neat. If it melted immediately, that'd be awesome. Double door of the Drakko cage. Well, the trouble is they get stuck in the door. You almost need like. The trouble is they cling to every surface, so you almost need like a. You know what you need to go in and out of a Drakko room is a vacuum tube. If you use the tube transport, then the Dreckos couldn't get out. They'd be stuck in there permanently. Tell them to sweep the Atmosuit. Well, it's actually. Well, you come down, you click on it to tell them to deliver it. I just don't have I didn't have the status or the priority set high enough. They should go get it now. Dun dun dun! If we get another Drakko in here, we could do a little more Drakko shearing too. Oh, you know what? Rather than building up here right away, let's try and get let's get this thing finished over here. I started building this ages ago and I never finished it. We get that done, we can pump some hydrogen in here and try to get our Dreckos to regrow their scales. Polluted oxygen in the Drakko ranch. Yeah, it's this there's a little water bottle here. There's actually a lot of oxygen in here now. Kind of want this thing to turn. Let's turn this thing off for now. Stable building. We'll stop supplying it with water. I need this turned back up to a different priority. So we'll empty that bottle. Actually, sweep this one bottle here. There we go. Oh, Drakko regrew his scales. He didn't even have hydrogen. Oh, there's a tiny little bit of hydrogen in this room now. I don't know how it got in there, but we have hydrogen. Is even just that tiny little bit enough to make this guy happy? I wonder. He's got wildness 100%. That's a wild Drakko. Oh, is that one I bagged? No. How did that happen? We ended up with a wild Drakko in here. I thought they were both tamed already. This one's tamed, but he's glum. This one's wild. We're shaving him down, so that's good. We can build another exosuit off it. Sweet. So up here, we'll queue an exosuit. They picked up the one exosuit. It's now down here in the station. So now we can take this and set it to enable building. And then we'll hope I have this gate turned the right way. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's not enable this just yet. Disable building. I want them to finish building and pump the hydrogen out of here first. Get tropical fishy. Deserve equal treatment. Fishy limbo. What I should do is build a little fish tank here in our little luxury apartment area. I'll try to put some fish in there with clean water, obviously, because it wouldn't look as nice with polluted water. Poor little duplicants. They're working so hard. All I do is bug them with more jobs to do. Anytime you wrangle them, it resets wildness. Oh, really? Oh, I guess it would do it. That would happen. Did anyone see your post about the possible geyser? What possible geyser? Work on a geyser plot. It would be fun with all the heat. Yeah, I'm sure there'd be tons of fun. What geyser were you referring to? So, I mean, I spotted a few of them here when I just did the little temperature thing. There's a geyser here that we haven't uncovered. Obviously, we uncovered the steam geyser up top here already. I don't see any other neutronium that would identify another geyser yet. So I'm not sure which one you might be referring to. That's the molten copper one. Fancy copper volcano. I mean, it's possible there could be something in the cold biome that we're not seeing, because neutronium would look cold in here already. Stuff out there too, polluted water. I don't see another geyser here at the moment, but that's all right. We haven't even dealt with all the ones we have yet. Air conditioning update. All right, let's go take a look. How's our temperature looking? All right, gas is coming in here at 38 degrees Celsius. It's leaving at 29.2. So the net result is the temp shift plates did not help. I wonder if, let's break the temp shift plates and see if it actually goes back to producing a better temperature outcome. Oops, that's not what I want. I'm just curious. I have a feeling that the temp shift plates actually made that system worse. Dupe stress is starting to climb a bit. Ooh, is that 40? Who have we got? Elf Wolf King. That's okay. We have 2 massage tables. When it gets high enough, they'll jump on the table. I have them like mucking around with the. Oh yeah, it did melt it instantly. Temperature's down to 33 degrees, so did a good job of cooling it too, actually. I want to see them build this last one and see how fast it melts. Ah, another one got out. Actually, this might be a funny little cheat. When this thing was bagged and it turned wild and we put it back in the chamber, it came out with its scales again. We might not even need hydrogen. We might just need to let them get out and re-wrangle them over and over again. And then we'll have like an infinite supply of Drakko scales. Durgan, personal aquarium with all the fishy, please and thanks. Many appreciated. Such enjoy. Very aesthetic. Wow. And very, very broken English, too. English.com. I don't know how I'm going to do that, Durgan. We can't do like a... There's no glass kind of thing. I wonder if we could put... See, the trouble, too, is the Paku die. So we need the Paku to, like, constantly get replaced, which would be an adventure. No, Fox, bad. Don't cheat. I don't cheat. I ain't never cheated. Oh, wait, you're talking about the Drakko thing. Yeah, look, it regrew its scales. That's got to be a bug. I don't think that's an intended thing. Because you could just wrangle them over and over again. Probably even in the same room. I'm just curious. I'm not going to do this because I don't like, to your point, I don't like cheating. But let's wrangle the one that doesn't have any scales right now. In the room it's in right now. We'll see if he drops it off again, if it reappears with scales. It does. Yeah, so you can do that for an infinite scale supply. Which means if you had ones that produce plastic, you could get huge amounts of plastic with no effort really, really fast. That's more of an exploit, though, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm surprised how much oxygen is going in here. How much air does this thing take? It's sending huge amounts of air into this. Man, it takes a huge amount of air to refill these things. That's ridiculous. Wow. All right. At least we have our own dedicated oxygen supply. Can you still use airflow tiles as water wall? You can, yeah. It's hydrophilic, so it'll never break to water pressure. Oh, the other ones melted too. What have we got temperature-wise? We're down like 32 now, so it's not so bad. It's still a little bit on the warm side when it comes up here. 32.5, 30.5. So it's kind of cooling as it goes through these hydroponic tiles, but we need to cool the water a little bit more. Open dock is consuming air. Well, it's filling up. And I guess once it maxes out... There, it maxed out, so now it stopped. Mostly. Yeah, it's not consuming air anymore. It just needed to fill up with oxygen. This suit is there. Let's get that delivered down here. Set this to an 8. Tell it to deliver exosuit. Yeah, I love little exosuits. Have the guys like run around those little spacesuits with like domes on their head. It just makes me laugh. Okay, this thing's done. So we can turn this on now. Enable building. Set this to like a priority 7, so we'll run on that treadmill a bit. This will pump the hydrogen that's in this little pocket over here into our Dracco room, where it will float along the ceiling, and that should make the Dreckos happy. I feel like the Exosuit docks always take air. They waste a ton and never backlog on oxygen. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. It's backlogged now. It's full. But you're right. Like, to refill them seems to take massive amounts of oxygen. I don't know why. The thing is, if the duplicates were using it, it would definitely... Oh, you know what? I've got them running up there digging in the germs, and I don't even have anyone... I don't even have anyone using the suit. Let's try putting this thing on now, please. Let's just enable this. There we go. Enable that building. Please use the exosuits, folks. There we go. Ha! Exosuit. We have our chef working in the nastiness. That's weird. All right, whatever. As long as they get the job done, I guess. Actually, so far the germs aren't too bad in this area, so that's not bad. They're dropping a lot of stuff down here that theoretically should become germy, but it doesn't seem to have any. That's weird. This isn't running. Why is that not running? Oh my gosh, really? It didn't complete the wiring? Are you kidding me? All right, someone's got to go fix that one tiny little wire so I can finally get the hydrogen in this room. This took forever. That was like the most inefficient job ever. It was like a government contractor job. Oh, it does melt instantly. That's really handy. I like that. 34 degrees. Yeah, the water's heating up a lot. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, come on. Who needs oxygen? You're just underwater. It's fine. Some power cable missing in the hydrant. Yeah, little tiny segment of wiring was missing there, which kind of stinks. Surveys. Oh, they're almost finished. Like it's so close. Come on. Ah. I want to see the temperature shift when this thing turns into ice. Potato wiring, that's right. I've got potato aim, I do potato wiring. It's all good. What I lack in skill, I make up for in incompetence. It's fine. Build a knock and destroy and watch the O2 explode. Yeah, I bet. Tried to do the mealwood Drakko thing after watching your last stream, but it made the atmo bad for some mealwood. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I mean, so I guess the big thing is if you build it where it naturally grows well, like right here. Oh, look, they have hydrogen there now. Yay! Oh, it's high pressure here. Well, we got hydrogen in the space at least. What's going on here? No harvest pending. Halted due to body temperature. It's got warm in here. It's warm in this little room. Probably because the general surroundings are all really warm now. I thought they were building an ice block here. Where did it go? This one here I thought was really close to being finished. Alright, maybe not. Whatever. This is good. We're gonna get a little bit of hydrogen over here. Alright, I'm not even gonna bother with this anymore. We've got enough hydrogen. Let's just deconstruct this whole mess. Get rid of all this. We don't need any of this anymore. Get rid of our gas pipes. All this is now wasted. Oh, Magnus is actually sleeping in the ammo suit. Dude, buddy. That's a weird place to sleep. Let's deconstruct that. Deconstruct this. Alright, we got the hydrogen in there now. That should make the Drackos happy, ultimately. I hope. Happy and groomed. Happy and groomed. So their wildness is going down. The scale growth is still really crummy, but it'll improve. And hopefully we'll get them to lay some eggs that we can then use to hatch some Dreckos that will produce plastic. That'd be really handy. Fish out of water don't die any quicker than normal, but they can't make any eggs or anything. Yeah, they just sort of flop around. Oh, what happened? Yeah. So when you actually get the fish on dry land, they flop around. So whether that's by dropping them off or by... Did I not drop the egg in the water? What happened there? I didn't. There we go. Now it's in the water. Oh, man, that was fast. He was all ready to hatch. Hey, we have a little Dracko. Alright, not a Dracko, a Paku. And hopefully he'll do some egg laying for us. So we've sort of replenished our fish supply a tiny bit. Man, I feel like we did all kinds of weird things this time. Alright, how's things in here? Wow, gas is coming at 37 degrees and it's leaving at 26.2. So how about that? The temp shift tiles in this setup produce a worse outcome than when they weren't there. Probably, again, because it's allowing for this lower pipe here to take on a lot more cold from the wheezeworts, whereas with the temp shift plates, it distributes it evenly around the room, and you just don't get the same effect. So, net result, we have oxygen coming out at 26.2 degrees, which gives us the perfect air conditioning unit for our colony. So now, all this wonderful fresh air that's coming in should be coming in pretty much in that ideal temperature range. And while there is still stuff in here that's warm, that'll go a long way to keeping everything nice and comfortable. Swapping this out to insulated pipe has helped a little bit with the temperature here, not a crazy amount, but over time that should improve. And I should actually swap out the same thing with insulated pipe all the way through this system here. That way, we won't be superheating the floor unnecessarily. And then I'm not going to worry about the top pipe because it's largely empty most of the time. Nice. Get the tropical one. Well, we need a way to catch it, so we need some plastics first. We can't catch the tropical fish. I mean, we can get the tropical egg, I guess. It's way down here. Ooh, the tropical fish died. Yeah, they just don't last. These poor fish, they have a terrible lifespan. Okay, up here we want to set this for cook ingredients, tropical Paku egg. I wonder if the two will play nice together. I wonder. Let's set to 8, so they should pick it up as a matter of priority. Sub-priority 7. Actually, might as well do 8, since I've got that as an 8. Over here, oh man, we've got this all dug out already. That's pretty sweet. Let's dig all this out now. How's our germ situation? It's germy. For whatever reason, the stuff that fell down the ladder, though, came down germ-free. Not that I'm complaining. But that's pretty cool. Nice. Oh. All right, we pretty much hit that midnight hour Eastern time. So I'm going to call it a wrap for tonight. But we did actually accomplish quite a bit. We got our Drakko farm working, or Drakko farm working, rather. We managed to shear some of the scales. We have them set up with some meal lice, so when if we can stop wrangling the silly things, we can get them fed on that and try to increase the glossy Drecklet eggs scenario and see if we can get some that produce plastic for us, which would be really handy. We've got some water replacement on the go. We're digging out a new area to build out some new luxury rooms because Spiffy needs a fancy room like Durgan has, and we'll have to build that out in there. So we're looking for, that's for both good room for you and one for Nelly Nee as well. So we'll have to do a fancy room for Spiffy and Nelly Nee in this area. We'll have to tackle that next stream because I just couldn't get to it this time. But now that we're hollowing this out, this will be where that will go. I'll need a second oxygen room probably if we're going to bring in more duplicants, just to make sure that things stay on the up and up oxygen-wise. And also we can use it for cooling, because we can set that one up with a similar system to have a cooling room for our second oxygen supply too. And then fairly soon we should be able to go down and start getting like crude oil and stuff if we wanted to also. I really want to try and get plastics out of the Drakko though, instead of trying to refine. So I think maybe next time we'll tackle this area for the new space to bring in more duplicants. That'll let us open up the wall here. And then maybe we'll try to play around with the copper volcano down here and see what kind of mess we can create with our colony that way. But thanks everyone for coming to check out the stream. Thank you everyone who provided a super chat. I really appreciate the support. If you don't currently subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. But as always, you should hit the little notification bell and set it to all notifications. Otherwise, you may not get notifications for upcoming streams and videos. Tomorrow night is Friday. We'll be playing some Fortnite. I'll be doing squads tomorrow night for those of you who play that game. And then on Saturday, I'm planning to play some Frostpunk, which is another cool colony management game. But thanks everyone for coming to the stream. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.